provides nice, good fruit. I'm Della Craig. I'm with the Crawfordsville District Public Library. I'm the local history specialist and I'm activities director for the Genealogy Club, which we have some of our members here. I'm just going to say a little tonight on genealogy basics for genealogists, about charts and forms, and they will be available here at the library. Halfway through our meeting, I'm going to pull a name and give a free book away with forms, so that'll be good. Now, in your packet, you will find a thing about what I'm going to mention tonight, not in all detail, but gives you a start what the difference between a pedigree chart is. Does everyone know what a pedigree chart is and a family group chart? Okay. That's why I have a handout. It should be under, see if it's right under this one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, it's right there on top. Oh, okay. A pedigree chart tracks your individual family history back through time. This means that every person listed on your chart is directly related to you. We focus on an individual, your parents, and so on, until going back 6, 7 generations, you can keep on going. The person whose pedigree the chart reflects is number 1. So this is the pedigree chart. That is that one right here. Yeah, it starts with yourself. Okay, number 1 is pedigree chart that's like for you. Or if you're going to do this for your aunt and not yourself, put that person in that spot. Use number 2 pencil, and I will, on here I've also wrote down basically the best way to do dates properly. And the number 2 on the pedigree is like the father, like your father, and number 3 would be your mother. When you do the mother, you put her first name, middle name, and maiden. So if she had a nickname, you also can put that in brackets, because sometimes you might find record for that. And when you start with yourself and you go to your father, then your grandfather, that would be your dad's father, would be your paternal grandfather. Where your mother's father would be your maternal grandfather. Like say if you were doing this pedigree and you were doing it for your grandma or someone, you would start with them and go back. But if you're starting with yourself, start with yourself and your parents and go back. What we'll do tonight, after I explain this stuff to you, then I'll have you guys work on your charts a little bit in pencil, and so that we'll have an idea what goes where, and if you need to, for next time, because after this one, I may have another one just like this, and then have a second session later that would have like primary and secondary sources, and what type of information you can get out of an obituary or death certificate. A lot of people think, oh, I just did that, but you can get a lot of information. But sometimes, like I told the man today, sometimes you work a death certificate, people, they don't give you everything upfront. They fill out their form, and they don't send you the genealogy information unless you request it.
Really? Because every time I've requested a death certificate, I mean, I get the actual death certificate, which, I mean, in Texas and Louisiana, the ones that, you know, mostly gotten, has name of mother and name of father.
Now, some places don't.
Really?
Nope. You have to ask for it.
Are those the only additional things that you might expect, the name of the father and mother?
Oh, the obituary thing like that, your marriage application.
No, when you pay to get a death certificate and you ask for, what should you ask?
Genealogical information, genealogy information.
And what might that, in the best of circumstances, include?
That would be like, their names, their birthplaces, local state, that would be a lead.
certificate itself doesn't have lines and spaces for that, would they sometimes provide that as an
Now they
extra?
type it on back,
As an extra,
yeah, they can type it on
but you
back.
need to request it, okay?
Okay, any questions so far?
Before, one question real quick. Okay, I've only really dealt with Louisiana and Texas. Okay, so, do you know what other states don't? I mean, what states
Every
don't?
state's a little different.
Yeah,
But now, of course, one of the other sections will be about FamilySearch.org,
yeah,
Ancestry, and what's available there, because there's a lot of
Oh,
death
yeah.
records on there that you can get the image without having to pay for a certified copy.
that's true.
And it has information where you can download it and you can send it to your sister or
Oh, yeah.
brother. But some people don't have the technology, they don't have a phone to take the picture and send it. So, we have that for free here, to use here in the library. Now the other chart, these are my example board. No family search, family group card. It has form and space to record information about your parents, the children, and the family. Got a place for their closest sibling, who they married, where they got married at, where they died at. I even used to make, see here, I printed this out bigger so I can see. I used to write on the back of some of my charts when I find out that they, like when grandpa died. Well, it's in an obituary, it will tell you the sibling and tell them where they live at. So then I would make little notes on the back saying, Uncle Bob lived in Danville, Illinois, where Uncle Harry Mile lived in Timbuktu. And that helps the census, looking at censuses, don't find about their family, because that's how you find, if you don't have family pictures and Bibles and stuff, that's how you find it, your cousin, kids. Okay? I've got an example here. This is the ancestral chart we just looked at before. This is an example I made of for my family. And this happens to be my mother and the parents. You see, like my grandpa, just fill this in, I'm not looking in my records to verify, I left some blanks. So you don't have to highlight those, I just did that so you can see. When you start filling that stuff out, when you get home, you'll fill some in, some you say, well, I know Illinois, but I don't know my county. So then you leave a blank in front of the Illinois. So then you fill that in, and get like the death records or records for things there. And like surnames, always do like capital letters. Like up here for my James Alonzo, his nickname was Lon, so I put the little brackets in Lon. Let's see, this is my mom and my dad. So that goes back this generation. And when you get back to that grandpa, great grandpa, great. Well, I got room for his name. I don't have room for that, and all that. What you do then, take this chart one, very first one, then each of these lines give another number. And you get another one of these charts, and you put Samuel, like Samuel here, you put him over here. Then you have room for your information. And then you go back. But yeah, so that's how you do that. Now, in your packet, I gave you 2 of each form, but I think you can do it. Okay? Now these, on the bottom of those forms, it tells you what database I got this off of. I find this an easy one to use.
gonna really get into this one tonight. I can't wait to do it another night, but since I was putting things with the charts and forms, I thought, well, this way you can kind of look over it. Right, I was talking to him about census, and he didn't realize there's such a gap before they're released. Well, this kind of tells you what years and stuff the census is taken.
50 years before they release it.
Some years. Well,
Yeah, I had
each
no
of these
clue.
here listed on this form, each one of these are a hyperlink. When you go to it, you click on it, and it's a blank chart. You can print it off, and you can fill the information off the census right in your website. And you'll understand how each thing represents. Because it's got ancestral charts, it's got family group charts, it's got modern genealogy trees, you know, people use.
Oh, the website's up here at the top?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Looking at the census forms, wasn't there a problem with 1880,
And it was 1890.
1890? Okay.
1890.
I knew there was one, that there was a problem.
Now, too, you will find some states have no state census. Sometimes they're hard to find state census. And they also have, that's what, I could do a whole program just on this. Because there's one it's even called an agriculture schedule, in like 1850s, 60s, and 70s. Of course, we don't. Ancestry doesn't have Indiana. In Illinois, they have Ohio. But what it does is the family person's name, it says how many acres of corn they had, how many animals they had, and you just, you understand, you know, every farmer, you can tell what type of farmer that we raised.
Well, I hate to bring it up, but even back then, they have, slave schedules that,
They have those two, and, they also have, well, and the state, the agriculture census is because you have to be on your animals and crops. And this is the way they, when they went around did the census, they can't do that. It's your place.
I heard of the story about that, and they levy taxes on the number of your animals. There were some landowners that had properties basically on either side of the Illinois-Indiana border. And when it came time for them to come check, they would move their herds to the other property.
Okay, here's the family group chart we were just looking at, and I said it's got 15 kids. Well, this is my great-great-grandma and grandpa. Picture I put up in the corner. And then I've got their first name, their last name, I've got their birthplaces. You see, I still have some gaps. Well, on these charts, what's interesting, see all this information over here, you can also add, like if they had immigration, Canada, they immigrated, you put the year, you put from where. Naturalization, you do the same thing. Naturalization was like a three-step thing, they made that 3 different steps. Did all these steps. Military, where you put Civil War and then you put the regiment. That kind of helps you when you're looking to go into a library or something, you can look and say, it's Indiana, and what happened? And marriages, if you have more than one marriage, well, that's always, how do you miss that, when you do 2 separate charts, especially against each other. 2 separate charts would be good. But then say you got a date of the will. Well, then you could go to the courthouse or come here and find a perfect, and put down what office, what page, and what time. And that is the source. It's documenting the information. And then see this place for the parents' names. And here's the same thing, you know, occupation also. Which occupation of somebody's older guy, he may have several occupations. He may be a farmer. He may have been, a minister. He may have been, street sweeper. Back in the old days, they had hired someone to go down the street and make sure everything was sensitive, fixed, stuff like that. So it had little names for everybody. Or deacons in the church, or, you know, Okay, on the back of the page that tells you about, family group charts and pedigree, on the back, you'll see basics. Remember, always use the pencil, you got in red. And the basics, always remember, start with yourself. Not Uncle Joe that says, well, your answer was John Hancock, signed Satan. And then people try to do research back. Always start with yourself. And I did mention about recording nicknames and initially they help. In other words, like my husband's ancestry, he had Owen Britton Craig, but he went by OB, he went by Brit. And so sometimes obituary, even nowadays, you may not use it for it. You just may have the OB, or in the newspaper, if you're going to newspaper archives, you're looking, oh, and you may not find nothing because it's under the other. And I mentioned vowels, capitalizing, capital letters for surnames. And your mothers and grandmothers, etc., always remember to use their surnames. Now, if they were married, one was married twice, you've got the chart, first married, second married. What, like, you know, it's Dorothy, middle name, and maiden name, but she was married 3 times. And the one that the chart's about is her husband, you could still put those other surnames there. But sometimes it's better off with a simple list. Because sometimes she may have died at the grave. Dorothy, she may not have no kids with the grave. May have had kids with the first family. And was buried, kids buried her with the first. That's how we keep it. But people don't think about that. Now, here's why I was talking about the dates. 2 digits for the date, 3 letters for the month, and 4 digits for the year. Because it's a lot less confusing because there's a lot of indexing when I was at the old library and doing all the cards, and someone would write 7/6/, but then the next one they say 13/, so you don't know which way to go. So that's why I like to do that.
And in Europe, they do it, the day, month, year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, and there's some websites that will actually go by the 4-digit year, and 2 for the date, and then 2 for the month. But this way, it's self-explanatory, because you know what you're writing. What your grandson might not know how to do it. And when you get home, look through your documents during that. Like if you have a badge, or you have a death certificate for your parents, or if you have a marriage application. Because some marriage applications don't just tell about who's getting married. Some will say, well, the dad's full name, where he was born at, where he's residing when the kids was born, or he's deceased. Well, sometimes that's the only way you never knew. So, and the source is different. That's why next session, no, trying to know it like this. But then session 2, when I announce session 2, it's going to be about primary and secondary sources. And that's going to cover what type of information you can get out. Obituary, birth certificates, marriage certificates, naturalization records, all sorts of records. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, it's just going to say the dark. It's not true. There's a lot more information. But an obituary is not a primary source, because that is hearsay. Because sometimes to, I said primary and man, but also that would be the time for you to bring in the charts you filled out in the meantime. And then I can show you what you need to do to fill those gaps and what sources to document. Because sometimes grandma may have said, I forgot on the 30th of June. But he may have died on the 28th. You know, after time, the numbers. And nowadays, challenging genealogy, there's lots of people that are keeping track of, here's the chart for the Judy Harvey year one up, one, two, five, up to the, of what diseases people have for medical purposes and all such, you know, blood cancer, you know, whatever. So I'll try to dig up one of those charts because it's kind of interesting because then you can kind of see what I even got in my notes. That's always key. They wore hearing aids. But yeah, that's telling you something about the person. It's just not a name. It's part of what the person is. Okay. Okay, any questions? Now on this paper you signed in on, there's a suggestion list there. You can pick up the subject you'd like to cover in your session. Please write it down so I can keep that in mind while I'm creating. Okay. Okay, how about I let you, let me go pull, this is a book we're going to, it's called Uncover Your Past. This book, Essential Forms and Forms for Genealogy. And see, it's got the census forms I was telling you about. It's, alphabetical ancestry. Of course, you want to do that because that would change all the time. Marriage index. It's got military record charts showing you different information. So you can, some are ancestry. It's very well, or you can put, you know, which is, and letter writing. And then here it shows some charts filled in. Like here, it's a table. Here's one of those charts filled in. And here's talking about paternal side and maternal side, each generation, where it's all on that piece of paper, where you can look at see whatever on there, grandma, grandpa, and they're all listed on one page. And a biographical outline for your life. You want to write down facts that's happened through your life. Here's the family group chart he's talking about. Pass that around, and I'm gonna have her pull one and we'll see if you want it. Okay.
Under occupation, I had to put down the truth, about scallywag. She handed me these forms all together. I'll see if I can steal it.
Your occupation is in
Yes.
Dorothy, you won it. Oh, well, thank you. Next time I won the book. Here. Thank you.
Could I steal a pack of those forms of things that you distributed?
I thought I was thinking, yeah, I'm sorry.
Carol says on my death certificate for occupation, she's tempted to write down either scallywag or thief. That's, oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and if you need any more charts, let me know. Or if you have a friend that can come tonight and wants to come pick up some charts, they can come and after me and I can give them. some of your members already know about the Gen collection that can be checked out, as long as you have a library card for here. You can check them out downstairs. They're basic on how to do genealogy, how to, search for roots, these pioneers roots. There is, how to do research in Germany, and search how it was in German and how to translate it in America. Montgomery County Magazine, they used to be in our newspaper years ago, we've always had it over here in this collection, and you could not check it out. And it was put in once a month, yeah.
Grew up with it.
And we have those here, I